car over 200 inches long, the Warlord. What a beautiful piece for Dan Patrick. And here again, one of the first to be built. This is something we'll be looking forward to in the near future. These things really hook up well. The motor setting at the back, the length of the wheelbase, short hitch. They hook up well, they pull well, and they're truly exciting to watch. Dan's even got his big wing up on top of them.
Any idea what a vehicle like that would cost, Mike?
Dan probably has in the neighborhood of $100,000 to $125,000 wrapped up in the car. All aluminum supercharged Keith Black Hemi, 18.4, 16.1 tires on the back of it, and checking over a few simple gauges that keep him acknowledged of what's happening behind him in that big aluminum engine setting back there. Bring the slack out of the chain. Crewman says it's okay to go for it. And on his way. All the way out to the end of the surface and then some for Dan Patrick out of Kingston, Ohio, and the Warlord. Here's Mike Hollingsworth and his beautiful Bushmaster dragster. Makes his home right outside of the Nashville area and does a great job. This is another one of the brand new dragsters. And there's something kind of neat about them. They're long. They look almost identical to the 280-mile-an-hour pulling dragsters or drag racing dragsters that you see on the drag strip throughout the country. Only these are designed for pulling. And as we mentioned, these are only two in existence for pulling. These are brand new. First time they've been out to this part of the United States. And just been out a short while with the United States Hot Rod Association. There's a shot of Mike sitting down inside of his car. And the big blown motor sitting behind him. He'll get ready to charge the track. Rolls the slack out of the chain. Everything's on go. And we'll see how the Bushmaster does. Mike Hollywood Hollingsworth. Slack is out of the chain. Mike's been very innovative in the pulling world. Whoa, look at that. He lost the blower off of the back of the motor. He has launched the blower off of the back of the engine. Now, he had a blower explosion. There's fuel running out of the top of it, kind of a volatile situation. But he had the blower restraints, the black straps that you see running down the side of the engine. Now, those are on there for safety purposes. The blower exploded. The straps held the blower down on the engine so the blower did not come up and launch over the car or get in any trouble. Let's watch him as Mike leaves with it. He sees the big tires start to turn. He's in the motor. The motor sounds good. All the power's up. Front end bouncing just a little bit. Track's rough. He's getting a bite. But it's right in this area that it explodes. There you see the fire out of it. Motor leaned out a little bit, popped the blower off of it. Now, it's still running with the alcohol that is draining down through the blower. Now, here's another interesting point on that. The motor is bolted to the blower with aluminum studs. So if the blower does explode, then the aluminum studs will stretch, pop up, keep the blower low to the ground, and those big safety straps kept it in place.
Here is one of the best looking six-packs you'll ever see on top of the Budweiser Boss, and he's going to do some pulling next.
Gary Collins out of El Dorado Springs, Missouri, the Budweiser Boss. Always one of the most popular exhibition vehicles on the pull circuit. Immaculately clean, backs it in, and they'll hang the chains, and he will come charging down the track. They've scooted the sled back quite a ways for Gary. Give him a little bit more running room as he gets those two 1,500 horsepower engines pounding the ground. Gary gets the green flag from the other end of the track. Here comes the ball. Hold on. Look at that. Out of the stadium, off the end of the pull surface. Gary Collins just flying down the track, and whenever he felt the urge, he nailed the throttle. The truck came to life, and it just like a rocket flew out the other end. Watch Gary Collins as he leaves with the sled, this 50,000-pound sled, and he's just toying with it. Just really kind of cruising right in this area right there. When it just moves a little bit, Gary says, I'm going to get out of here, and just automatically opens the throttle on the Budweiser Boss, and he flies all the way to the end of the tracks, just getting it stopped as it's got to the end of the pull surface.
Hey, I didn't know this. Atlanta's talking trade again.
Hey, did you see who just walked out of camp?
Yeah, what about all these high-salaried guys on the DL?
For my money, the sporting news is the only way.
They get the whole story every week.
Are you getting shortchanged on your sports news? Then start getting complete, in-depth coverage, up-to-the-minute news and stats, hard-hitting inside stories of football, baseball, basketball, hockey, and more. Everything you need to know every week in the sporting news. Yes, get in on all the action and get in on this great half-price offer from the Sporting News. Here's how.
Take this tip and get in on this great half-price offer. Just call 1-800-248-5400. That's 1-800-248-5400 and receive 40 issues of the Sporting News for 4 easy payments of only $5.45. That's a savings of 1/2 of the regular subscription rate. You can't beat that price anyplace. So call now, 1-800-248-5400. That's 1-800-248-5400.
You just paid $10,000 for a new pickup. Your neighbor did too. Your neighbor bought a Duraliner. You didn't. Now which truck do you wish was yours? Without Duraliner? With Duraliner. Duraliner is so tough, it's guaranteed not to crack, split, or become brittle for the life of your truck. See your truck dealer. Duraliner. Call 1-800-D-Liners.
Just when you thought you knew which battery was best for your car, along comes this dynamo, the Megatron 34 from Interstate, the runaway leader in every performance test by America's leading consumer products rating service, with cranking power that ran circles around better-known brands and reserve energy that left others stranded. Megatron 34 from Interstate. A bit of a show-off, perhaps, but then it did test best. Ask for it.
Let's go on to the mud racers, and Jerry Guinness from Fresno, California is our first one.
This is going to be a truly exciting class. These are lightweight 3,000-pound vehicles, big horsepower. This is a naturally aspirated Chevrolet, a fiberglass 50 model Jeep body. It's been shrunk a little bit. We're going to find out the quick time of the night, because JP, he will set quick time as he goes in, and he makes it all the way through, and that's what you want to do. Cleans it out a little bit, gets it just a shot of the nitrous oxide. JP, watch out.
Now, that's something I wasn't expecting. How about yourself? Right off the track.
That's out of bounds. But, JP, we'll see if we can take a look at it on the replay, and I think we're going to find out that he broke an axle right on the starting line. Now, watch the left front tire when he leaves the starting line on it. I don't see that left front tire turning. The front tires aren't turning as hard as the back tires, so the drive line has gone out of it. The tires are pulling it around, jerks him sideways, out of bounds, and a disqualification tonight.
Todd Blancett from Madeira, California is our second competitor, actually the first, because of Jerry Guinness' disqualification.
This is one fine piece of equipment, the Bud Light Party Animal. Spuds McKenzie ride, I guess. A supercharged Chevrolet motor, probably pounding out 1,500 horsepower. There's a spot of Spuds, and I don't think Spud gets a ride like this too often. We're going to see
a great year, though.
We're going to see a great wide. Big horsepower, lots and lots of excitement, and he's got to blast the pit. Here's a man that can run just a hair over 2 seconds in this mud. Watch him right at you. My heavens. Had to back completely out of it to regain control to keep it inbound. And what a blast for that Bud Light Party Animal as it zinged the pit. Immediately gets on it. He's crossways in the pit. And when he does that, he knows he's got to keep it inbound. So right there for just a moment, you saw the mud quit going up in the air. He's up on top of it. The front tires are actually in the air, and the rear tires just skimming the top of the mud, much like you'd skip a rock across. Then he's immediately on the brakes to shut it down. A very short shutdown area here tonight. Well, a 3.42 is going to be a very good pass tonight, but I don't think that's going to stand up. I think we're going to find some guys that's got the straight arrow line and will make a really close to a 2-second pass.
Here's Jim Jarrah next.
Jim having some problems with the 460 Mustang, but he's churning the mud, trying for the end, and he made it out. That's all the way through. Now, the finish line is where the uprights go up high. It's not all the way out of the pit, but the 460 Ford, he was really having some problems training through the mud. But the most important part of it is he made it all the way through the mud. We had one that was disqualified. One of them didn't make it all the way through, had motor problem. And the Mustang made it all the way through. Not the best time in the world, but an excellent job.
Wendy Tarman of Long Beach, California, ready to start her run. 3.42 is the mark to beat.
I'm very anxious to watch Wendy. Look out. Ooh, she was bouncing all over the place, JP. But that lovely lady had a strong pass and may have very well taken the lead. Wendy just winging it all the way down the track. A beautiful job of driving as she cleans the tires out a little bit and gives the crowd a great wave. Watch her now. Look how fast she turns those tires, and watch her being bounced around inside that roll cage. She's taking a rough ride and does a great job out of it on the binder, shutting it down. What a great job for the Californian. That young lady, you can tell why, is a professional mud racer and one of the best.
And her time was better than Todd Bland said. A great race, 3.21 seconds. She's the leader. Our next mud racer, Pete Islas from Long Beach, California.
Pete's running a full-size Jeep body. It's a naturally aspirated, not a supercharged engine like some of the others that we've seen blast this pit tonight, like Wendy Tarman. Wendy has really done a good job, set a quick time of a 3.21. But in this mud racing, the horsepower is very, very essential. But as we've noticed tonight, the driver's style and what the driver's doing to keep it between the line is also very, very important in this hard-to-handle Jeep. And I would imagine there again you've got a name that really fits the truck. I think it'd be awful hard to handle tonight. Boy, there was a tremendous pass, JP. That's the man we talked about earlier with, he broke the right front tire, axle completely off of it. Broke the right front tire, and he may have done that when he came out of the pit. But sheared the right front tire off. That's part of the sport. Fell down on the track. Let's see it with the replay as we get ready to watch him. Now, this is a good pass. Watch him. He keeps it real straight. He's hard on the motor. The front end's up in the air, but watch the right front tire. There's where he has all the problem. Just doing a great job here. Broke it right on the end. When he hit the end of the pit, it came up a little bit. The mud had came out of the pit quite a bit, and he actually broke the right front tire on it when it launched out of the pit. A tough break, but a very fine run for one hard-to-handle truck. A brand new leader, Hard to Handle, has just taken the lead at a 3.04. A 3.04, well, I think that would probably make up a little bit for the unfortunate incident right there at the end when he hit that part of the pit and sheared off the right front tire.
A look at Glenn Weller from Santa Maria, California.
Well, it's another one of the fiberglass high horsepower Jeep. A big block Chevrolet fuel injected under the hood. Here again, not a supercharged engine, but a fuel injected motor. As he brings it up to the line and gets ready to try to blow the pit. Our leader is 3.04. 3.04 is the leader, and going to back up and make him a little bit of rut there, try to clean it out a little bit. Make him another shot. Very, very important, JP, to line up straight with the pit. As we've seen tonight, so many of these vehicles have had problems right off the starting line where the vehicles jump sideways. You either have to go out of bounds or you back out of the